Making a Flippy Floppy. The Talking Heads, making Flippy Floppy. Well, what does that mean? Okay, well, if you're going fishing and you bring a minnow bucket and you got fresh minnows in there, well, when you reach in there to go and get a minnow, you want a live minnow and you want one that makes flippy floppy because you put them on your hook and you want to make sure you hook it so that it still is, you don't want to kill it when you hook it because you want it to go into the lake when you put it in with your fishing rod and go way down there and you want it to make flippy floppy, like that. A live minnow. That's why you use live minnows, because they make flippy floppy. And then the fish comes along that you want to catch, and it sees, oh, there's food, and it's making flippy floppy. It's not dead. It's a live little fish. Oh, those are the best ones. Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, Smeagol Gollumses, he loves fresh, cold fish, fresh right out of the lake, right out of the river, out of the pond. Fresh, still alive, making flippy floppy, and that's his favorite food. He doesn't cook it or anything. He just bites it. And that's the way the fish in the lake are. They just bite it. And they bite so hard that, they get hooked by the hook. And then you reel them in. And that's how you get a fish for your supper. So that's what making flippy floppy is. What a minnow does when it's on a hook. And when we say making flippy floppy, what is it? It's devilry. Because while you're deviling, you're making flippy floppy. You don't understand? Well, what happens when you make flippy floppy? Well, it's devilry, so either you're going to be caught for whatever it is, because devilry is criminal, terrorism, in some cases, whatever it is that you're doing. It's just that a long time ago I said this is the sting. It is. It's the sting. It was a movie, Robert Redford and Paul Newman. The Sting, 1970s. It's a sting operation. Everybody knows. It's what the cops do. The sting operation. That's what this is. Because you're all allowed to devil and make flippy floppy. And when you make flippy floppy when you're deviling, then other people who maybe they're just want good reassurance that they see lots of people making flippy floppy, deviling. And they don't get arrested. Forever. Just forever and forever and forever. There's no penalties. So people who are inclined to look, I don't know, maybe they want 5 years of watching other people devil. After 5 years, and clearly no sign of any enforcement worldwide, Epstein's Island and Prince Andrew is still free. Clearly, from the very top of our civilization. So, when you see that the highest levels of criminals and the street crime goes unpunished, well, if you can't beat them, join them, some people might say, and then they might start deviling. And that's what the sting is, giving people enough rope to hang themselves. And the rope is time and freedom to be criminal without any penalties whatsoever. Then the government devils all the time. Everybody knows that politicians are completely crooked. The doctors have been prescribing placebo pills for decades. Before I was born, they were prescribing placebo pills. Because that's what it is. You fill your prescription with placebo pills. Because we learned that on MASH. There was an episode where Klinger was too hot. It was the summertime in South Korea and it was blazing hot. And he was so hot he couldn't stand it. So BJ and Hawkeye, they gave him a sugar pill. And they told him, this pill, it's amazing. It cools you right down. It's fresh off the boat from the USA. They new research because they know it's hot here in Korea and they wanted to help out the soldiers. So here it is. And you're first in line. And he's like, Modern medicine. It's amazing. And he took the sugar pill. And then he came back later on, and he was dressed up in fur coats and everything. It was 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And he was cool as a cucumber. Because it's the power of the mind to believe the placebo effect. So all those doctors are liars. And that's all they do is prescribe. I don't know, they taste horrible and they got these chemical names in it, but all of that stuff in the end is all placebo. Because if they can give you a pill for feeling cold or feeling too hot, then every other pill is the same effect in your mind. You give away your power to a pill. Well, because you got to fool yourself with the placebo effect in order to cool yourself down, because you're a muggle. We learned what muggles are all about in the earlier. I don't know, it wasn't early. Wasn't it the first Harry Potter? Well, why'd you say early? Just to put a lie in there. Because that's what you do. That's called devilry. That's called making flippy floppy. Lying like that, any old kind of lie. Any kind of thing that, anyways, it's making flippy floppy. And that's what it does, because the more the devils dance, the more other people are saying, fuck it. Why should I, walk the path of the straight and narrow? Because I do it mostly because I'm afraid I'm going to get caught. I'm going to go to jail. But when people see that people have been deviling for years and years and years and years and years, and there's no law enforcement whatsoever, then people who are relying upon staying on the straight and narrow only by external sources, in other words, is someone going to catch me and give me a whack on the ass like I'm a 2-year-old temper tantrum? It's not very adult behavior. That the reason that you are not a criminal is because you're afraid of going to jail when you're caught. That's not internal ethics or internal morality. That's external, looking to see, like a rat. And those rat people, given enough time and enough other rats making flippy floppy, they will make flippy floppy. And as soon as they make flippy floppy, then they've joined the Antichrist. Then they're going to lake of fire. So it's the continual separation of the wheat from the chaff, as it says in the Bible. And this is Armageddon. Anybody watching my videos and seeing how much I'm tortured? Because I'm with the light. And that's why I'm tortured by organized evil or disorganized evil. I don't know. You tell me. One way or another, I am tortured. And good people don't torture good people, do they? So, all you devils out there, remember, you go find that song. It's easy to find on YouTube. It's the Talking Heads. It's not the Talking Heads. Just so you know, they're called Talking Heads. There's no the on the album. Because Brent Beeson, the devil, put a the in there. Because Brent Beeson is constantly lying. Constantly. Because he loves to go and plug in at 150 on the scale of human consciousness. And 150 is Satan. His other place he likes to go is 190. That's Lucifer. Lucifer likes to plot. And Satan likes to get the stealing knife and stab you in the back. Literally. Kill you with a blade. Yeah, that's satanic energy at 150 on the scale. And remember, just to give you another idea, at the top end of the scale, 900 is Wayne Gretzky playing for the Stanley Cup on the ice, dipsy-doodling and being the great one on the ice. Off the ice, not 900. No, drop him down to 190, a devil. But you want to know how to win a Stanley Cup? You've got to be at 900. So why not keep it 900 all the time? Because it's very hard to be at 900 on a planet where everybody else is at 190 and 150. Because you'll be targeted as somebody of higher consciousness. And that's what happened to Jesus 2,000 years ago. In the end, he was punished for being at higher levels of consciousness by people who were at very low levels of consciousness, under 200 on the scale. So anyways, that's what's going on. The sting continues, and devils are deviling, making lots of flippy floppy. That's the song. Making flippy floppy. So while you're gloating today, all of you devils, gloating and gloating and gloating that you can devil unpunished, it's delayed karma. Because at some particular point, those people who are making flippy floppy are going to make flippy floppy in the lake of fire. That's what it says in the Bible, doesn't it? Well, are you going to change I can't help you out, because in the end, that's the way it's going to be. But if you don't believe it, then make some more flippy floppy and tell all your friends that are sitting on the fence. Just look how much fun I have deviling, and because we really do want to encourage people who are sitting on the fence to make a choice. Make a choice and tell them either to fuck off and you'll never devil, or say, well, all right, I'll join you in the devil work. Because in the end, we want to continue to separate the wheat from the chaff, and it's people individually who decide where you're going to plug in on the scale of human consciousness. Remember, universal law is you must be at 540 unconditional love or higher on the scale of human consciousness. That's the law. So if you're under that, you're breaking the law. And if you're breaking that universal law, then you are lake of fire material. So flip flop away, flip flop and fly is another song I like to play. Flip flop and fly, don't care if I die. That's not me, that's devilry that's moving my hand like that. That's not me. Anyways, that's another song you can look up. Downchild Blues Band. Flip flop and fly, flip flop and fly. I don't care if I die. Don't want to leave me, don't ever say goodbye.